So how can you make sure that your first team meeting will be a real success? Whenever a team or a group of people is introduced to a new leader, they do a collective reset. They will ask themselves questions like, I wonder what's the new manager like? What is going to change under this new manager? So it's clear, a good first impression is crucial for you. So let's dive right in. First, build trust and demonstrate humility. As the new manager, your team will most likely be skeptical of you. Of course, you want to demonstrate confidence and talk about your vision or the changes you intend to make. But without a certain level of trust, this could backfire. Your team doesn't trust you yet, and your team doesn't know you yet. Chances are high that they misinterpret your confidence as arrogance. Welcome to our first team meeting. Let me say this, the times of stagnation are over now. I'm going to turn everything upside down. You can be sure when I'm done with that here, we'll be #1 producer of pumps in the world. What a douchebag. Instead of showing strong confidence, go for a less active approach and show your team that you are humble and willing to learn. Show them that you want to know them better and that you intend to help them. Of course, you can mention that you probably want to make some changes, but not before you learn more about them, your team, and before you know what's working well and what isn't going so well. Number 2, get to know your new team. You should spend most of the meeting learning about your new team. In your first team meeting, focus on getting to know your team members on a personal as well as on a professional level. And very important, take notes. Not only can you incorporate their answers in future conversations, but it also shows your team that you are making a real effort to get to know them and to know their challenges. So John, what are you doing in your free time? Well, I like to go fishing. Yes, that's my favorite thing to do. You versus the fish, that's so exciting. I usually catch only very small fishes, but still, I feel like a gladiator. Okay, thank you, Jim, for sharing this interesting story. My name is John. That's not what I meant. Third, let your team get to know you. This is very important when it comes to building trust. Give your new team the chance to ask you questions. Here you can communicate your background, values, your excitement about the new role, the reasons why you started working for the company, and so on. If you feel comfortable with it, you can also reveal something about your private life, your hobbies or interests, for instance. But make sure you keep it briefly. Don't spend too much time just talking about yourself. You don't want your team to think of you as an egocentric, right? You see, when I was born, we didn't have much, but that didn't stop me from becoming extremely successful. Quitting has never been an option for me. I mean, I like challenges. For instance, there was this one time. Okay, that's it. Our meeting is over. See you next time, guys. Keep in mind that there might also be tough questions. Be prepared for that. Even though I said earlier that you shouldn't talk about the things you want to change or your vision yet, it still could be that you may get asked these questions. Just make sure you answer them honestly. And if you can't answer them yet, be open about that. You are new and you will be learning a lot in your first month as the new manager. That's normal. Just tell them. Which brings us to tip number 4. Communicate that you are in learning mode. Even as a leader, you are only human after all. That means you don't know all the answers. You can't possibly know everything. Especially if you're a manager at your new job. You don't know the company yet. You don't know the hidden rules, the processes, the interpersonal dynamics in your team. Tell your team that you'll be learning all you can about the team and the way the team works, let's say for the first 2 to 3 months. This honesty and this humility also helps you to build trust with your team. Number 5, schedule one-on-ones. That's very important. You should keep your first meeting short and informal. A good way to end the meeting is to let your team know that you will be scheduling one-on-ones with each of your team members. In that way, you can get to know them and you get to know their work better. After you are done with these one-on-ones, you should also arrange a formal meeting. There you can go into more detail about your plans and about your vision. Number 6, communication channels. It's so important to talk about your expectations and to talk about how you want to communicate with your team and with the team members. When and how can they reach out to you? Do you prefer emails or face-to-face communication? If it depends on the situation, make clear when to use email and when to have a face-to-face talk. Can they see your calendar? And if yes, how? Can they put in meetings with you? Communication and expectations are crucial, so you want to get that right from the start. And if you want to get your one-on-ones right from the start, you should check out my video on one-on-ones right here. Thanks for watching and see you soon.